In today's video, we're going to talk about how to get clothes that fit perfectly for guys. We all know how frustrating it can be to have clothes that don't fit quite right, but with the right strategies and tips, you can find clothes that make you look and feel great. By the end of this video, you will understand how to get clothes that fit you perfectly. Let's get started. The first step to getting clothes that fit perfectly is to know how to measure clothes. If you can measure clothes well and understand fit, you can minimize the odds of making an ill-fitting purchase. Other guides may recommend measuring yourself, but I find this to be inaccurate and inconsistent, especially in an age of online shopping with garment measurements readily available. Instead, I recommend that you find one of each garment that fits you best and designate it as your reference garment. Whenever you are looking to buy a new item, compare its measurements to those of your reference garment, and only make the purchase if you are sure the measurements are very similar, or if the difference in measurements improves fit in an area you noticed previously. For example, if your current shirt fits alright but is slightly long on the sleeves, aim to have your next shirt purchase be an item with similar measurements but slightly shorter sleeves. Now let's move on to understanding fit and what a proper fit is for tops and bottoms. When it comes to shirting, the two most important measurements are shoulder width and sleeve length. If you can nail these two, you are already 90% on the way to a perfect fit shirt. Ensure that the seam between the shirt's body and sleeve is just about where your shoulder ends and where the bone juts out slightly. Any less and the shirt will be restricting. Any more and it will begin to look baggy. For the sleeves, aim for a length that allows you to raise your arms in front of you without the sleeves pulling up due to the movement, which is highly uncomfortable. This means the cuff should at least be at or slightly past your wrist bone. Opt for regular fit shirts with a straighter cut for maximum wearability and comfort. You want to look good and feel comfortable. If there is any pulling at all in the shoulders, chest, or waist, consider sizing up. For t-shirts, it is much the same as shirts. Make sure that the seam is just about where your shoulder ends, and size up if you feel any pulling or tightness in the shoulders, chest, or waist. When it comes to trousers, I prefer higher waisted trousers, 1 to 2 inches below your belly button, with wider legs. I feel like this elongates your legs and minimizes discomfort when sitting and moving. The two most important measurements are the waist size and trouser length. Nail these two and you will have a great trouser. Ensure that the waistband of the trouser is snug but comfortable about 1 to 2 inches below your belly button. It should be able to hang naturally and not move about. Too loose and the trousers will be all over the place. Too tight and you'll feel like you can't move. Next, find a length for trousers where they end at the middle of your ankle. This length should have the trouser just brush the top of your shoe and avoids the baggy look of overly long trousers and the shrunken look of trousers that are too short or cropped. For shorts, I personally prefer shorter shorts that show off more thigh, but as a general rule of thumb, have your shorts end about 1 to 2 inches above your knee depending on your height. Just make sure that the waist is correct. Shopping for clothes that fit perfectly can be overwhelming, but if you follow the guidelines mentioned previously and find a suitable reference garment, learn to understand how clothes fit properly, and make new purchases with improvements to fit in mind, you will be able to build a wardrobe full of perfectly fitting clothes. Even if you do your best with planning purchases and measurements, sometimes you may still need to have clothes altered to go from a good fit to a perfect fit. Just follow the principles for fit that I mentioned earlier when talking to an alterations tailor about making changes. For shirts, ensure good fit at the shoulders and sleeve length. For trousers, make sure that your waist is snug yet comfortable and have the trouser end at the middle of your ankle for ideal length. Keep in mind that it is always preferable and easier to take something in, for example, reduce sleeve length or reduced waist size, rather than make something bigger by letting it out. Getting clothes that fit perfectly is all about knowing your measurements, understanding fit, and being willing to make alterations when necessary. I hope you found this video helpful and enjoyable. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any other questions or tips for getting clothes that fit perfectly for guys, be sure to leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to reply. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.